introduction lecture of this course. I want to do a small recap, a short recap for the course organization stuff, so that we are more, it's more us that we are attending the course. As I said, the course is organized around 50 hours of lectures and seminars, and the workshops we did. It's very compact. The idea is that by December 16 we finish everything, and from December 16 on you are left alone. You are not left alone. You have to finish your project. Okay. We are going to have a basic introduction to game design, a little bit from us, a little bit from the guests like yesterday, like Federico yesterday. And then we are going to do some game programming using Unity. We are not going to teach you how to program. You are all computer, well, more or less we are hope that you can program a little bit. We are going to teach you how to program Unity, which is a kind of different thing, but more or less, if you know something about JavaScript or you know something about C#, then you're okay. The evaluation is based on a team project, and so you have developed a demo game that has at least 20 minutes of play. So it means that when you start, it's considered the live version of any application you have downloaded somewhere, or the demo version. It should be 20 minutes of play, or something like 5 to 6 levels. Okay, just to show that you also know how to progress the level design. Now you wonder what is the level required for my project? Well, we basically let everything go to the jury, who is the same people that are in this room, and actually are also the people that are coming to the presentations. So in the mailing list right now we have around 45 students, enrolled students, plus other people. The other people are around 30 people, and actually these 30 people, they have different backgrounds. We send also the projects and ask evaluations to the people you have seen discussing, making seminars, making workshops. So we are going to ask to designers, we have to ask to anybody. And everybody can kind of vote your game, and your grade will depend on this, more or less. My advice is that think big. I mean, you are going to make a game anyway, and your name will be on that game anyway. I mean, even if it's completely bad, I'm going to advertise it. And they are going to say, you know, oh, this is the game of Federico. And whatever happens, that's your name and that's your game. So probably it's better that it's good. If you think about the level of the game, you should go and check out the EGF. It is a very big competition. And here you can see some of the finalists. To this link, you can see some of the finalists and winners of the student section of the IGF. They are very nice games. But I can tell you, if you work hard enough, you can do it. You can reach comparable level. What is particular in this, with respect to other courses, is that we have a specific structure of the project. So it's not that you can do the project, well, you can do. You can say, okay, I attend the course and then later I do the project. Nobody has ever did this before, but you can try. Specifically for people attending the course, there are specific deliverables, and everything is structured in 5 deliverables. You have a concept, you have a specification storyboard, and a kind of design document, a prototype, a beta, and final. Each deliverable has a strict deadline. So at some point we are going to be in one room for the prototype with all the people there playing, and that the prototype must be there. And actually, since there are your colleague there that probably has worked as much as you to prepare your prototype, if your prototype is not ready or it doesn't work, the other students, not me, they will be not happy enough to give you a lower grade, so to say. And it's not very nice to be the only one in the room with the prototype not working. I can tell you, it happened once and it didn't. It happens only twice on 40 projects, more or less, so far. The idea is that the project overall cannot take more than 4 months. We have a list of invited speakers. We are still working on a couple of speakers. As I said, there are a number of workshops. We are going to start with a simple game of Breakout. That is, well, if you don't know Breakout, it's a very famous Atari game. It's very famous because it was one of the first addictive games. And the other one, another reason is because the guy who founded Apple actually made the game for Atari. We have a brainstorming session in workshop on November 5 with the people from design. There are people that are basically training companies and designers to make products. Okay, so it's very interesting. They are going to teach us techniques that are really not game specific, but that basically are brainstorm specific. And the idea here is that give you tools to brainstorm when you are in your developer team. And then we have other two Unity tutorials, two development tutorials. And then there is a company that is doing a lot of stuff in augmented reality. It's coming to show us in 4 hours of what you can do with augmented reality. So this is more or less the structure of the course. And these are the deliverables. These are final deliverables. Okay. So one of the things here is that the final presentation will be on 24th, January 24th. And one of the interesting part is that on January 24th, here, not exactly in this building, but in the L26 building that is a couple of 100 meters down that road, we are going to have the Global Game Jam will start. So the idea is that in the morning you are going to do the presentation, and around 6 o'clock the Global Game Jam starts. So all the people that are attending Global Game Jam, we hope, will be also attending your final presentation. So in a way, and we are going to keep the games running for a while. So more or less consider here that you are going to spend something like 8 hours there. But it will be very nice because we hope to bring developers from all around Italy. Okay, so it's a big thing to organize it, and actually we are going to do our best with the help of other people to make it a very nice thing. From this year on, we have a final deadline. Typically the course will end here. This year we have a final deadline that is the publication of the game on one of the online app stores or on the course website. So from this year on, we're going to ask people to publish their demo. Now, yes, we ask for we oblige you to publish the game. So the thing is that if you want to get a grade, the demo must be published for free using one of our courses accounts. So initially they were my accounts actually, but actually then I decided that to let the students use them. And so the idea is that your demo must be published on one of these, well, hopefully on all the 3 accounts, which means one iOS, one Android, one Windows. The question is why? Well, first of all, consider that I said for free. Okay, I want the demo be published for free. So why? We noted that many students at the end of the course, they had a very good game. I can tell you that last year the 7 games that came out from the course were very good. The demo could have been published as they were, just for the fun and just to show something around. But most of the students said, no, it's very good, but I want to work more on that. Okay, there is this illusion that you are going to have more time after the course is finished. It's not. You won't have it because basically you are at the Politecnico or at the University of Milano, you are completing your degree. So if you ask me, can I see some of the games of the past year? I can tell you no, because there are no demo around. And if you tell me, oh, so they were bad? No, they were very good, but everybody is in development. It's somewhere at some point in development. And actually, it happens to all the developers that they say, no, I have to work a little bit more on this game, and basically the game never ends. So, just to give you another stop, we say, okay, at the end, you have 1 month to publish it, and we can help you to publish it. I mean, apart with the counter, if you have problem with the reviews or with the putting up the final version, we can help you. But the point is that there is a single place where the students from or companies from the next year, they can say, oh, can you show us something? And I can tell, yes, I can show you something. You can go to that place, to that account, and there you can find all the games. Then, if you think that your game is not that good, you invent your own name. You can call yourself Capitan Harlock or Peter Ray or Buddha, and then you can publish the game like that. And then, if everybody likes it, you're going to say, no, I am Capitan Harlock. If they believe you, then you can sell your game. So that's the point. I really wish to say that all the games on those accounts will be free. Okay, so that's I give my accounts so everybody else doesn't have to pay accounts and stuff like this to one point where all the games can be. And actually, we are bringing back the games to those accounts. So I'm collecting the games from the last year and publishing that on that account. The question is now, if you give it for free, but can I sell that the game I developed with my team? Yes, you are welcome to. But still, the first version, there is demo version, call it light version, call it crappy version, call it whatever version you want to call it. It must be free. So that the important part in this let's say job or in this area or expertise is to be known. Okay, it's very interesting. I found really interesting that if you say to somebody, what's your job? They ask you, what is your job? You say, I do the backend database for Lunga or other companies. Nobody asks you, can I see it? Nobody asks you that. But if you say, I do web, and I do websites, and I do games, everybody says, can I try it? So the important part for you is to create a portfolio, and that's the first step toward the portfolio. I know that all the game developers, and that's typical, and actually it's very interesting that it's typical to everybody, they are really picky about their game. They want to be the best game as possible just from the start. They want the first game that is the best game, okay? Actually, there is one of the books in our syllabus that is the Art of Game Design from Shell. It's basically one of the best books about game design in general, discussing the game design. There is a sentence at some point in the book that says, you know, the first 10 games you are going to make, they are going to be crap. So whatever you do those 10 games and let it out of the system, then you can start to do real games as you want. So this is the first thing. Don't worry that much about that. Don't be too picky. The important thing is to do games and do a certain number to build experience about that. 2 years ago, we were discussing with some of the students, and we said, okay, one student, I think it was Valerio, he told me we should have a name, we should have a lab, okay, like for instance, University of Milano, they have a lab that is called Pong. They said we should have a lab, and I said, you know, we are people going around and we are chatting on the internet and we are exchanging emails. We don't have a lab, we don't have a place where we go. We should call ourselves something about the group that we are. And in a way, I said, you know what? There is the Copenhagen Game Collective. We could be the Polimi Game Collective. So we were doing a Deludum Der Jam, and he said, okay, let's do it, and let's call it like that. It took us 2 years, more or less, because nobody had the time to put it together. But anyway, that's why the website is called Polimi Game Collective, and the idea is that the people that develop games at Polimi during this course, thesis or whatever, are there. If you went to the website I'm trying to make the website the point where all the links to all the games developed, the games are there. So far I put only 5 or 6, if I remember correctly. This is one. I don't know whether you have the Xbox, but if you have the Xbox, you find this game online. Consider that this was a concept, one of the first concepts came out from this course. And the idea is that you are a pixel, you have to go out, you have to break out from the screen. and you see everything as a pixel. So you see the room. You can find it also on the Zura. And actually you find other pixels. This is the map. And then you can do whatever it is. Gabriele Arnaboldi and Luca Arnaboldi, they were the two major developers for this. They are, one of them, Gabriele is doing the thesis with me and developing another game, obviously. This is from 2 years ago. I actually didn't put nothing from the last year, I should have. This was a serious game, kind of a special game, where basically it was built up to participate to a competition for health-oriented or change the world competition. It's called Bad Blood. And he had 4 mini games inside they were inside the body, one in the lungs, one in the vessel, blood vessels, and it was one of them. It won the prize from the Centro Nazionale Sangue for the development of this. And actually we're going to have a project with them probably. This is the game I showed you yesterday. That's in this video, so you can download the demo. They have also a crowdfunding on Indiegogo. Here I put one of the latest trailer. But actually, if you check out online on my website and you go for 2010, you see the first one. This actually, the quality is actually pretty good anyway, even if it was just programmers doing it. And the idea is that they use microphone and you only speak and move around to solve puzzle, fight monster, or whatever. There are only 2 programmers and 4 designers. It's a very good game. Try the demo, it's very nice. It works on Windows for the moment. This was from 2 years ago. It's actually a game about, well, the bunnies are invading your screen. And basically you have to stop them. If they hug, so to say, they produce other bunnies. If the concept is from Cristiano Pervesini, right now is with a kind of contract or studentship in Japan. He's doing also his thesis meanwhile. This one had a huge problem with the Apple Store, because originally the screen, the backgrounds, they were the actual backgrounds of taken from the Apple. Okay, so this was the camera background, which there was a little bit short scratch by was mocked scratch. Actually, they were refused to be published because the screenshot from Apple they are copyrighted from Apple. So then they had to ask the graphic the artist to remake all the backgrounds. And this is Xenophonic. This is from Michele, the PhD student who was also giving some of the lecture during the sport Unity lecture. It's a musical game. Right now it's for iPad. It's almost there. Michele's example is one of the things I told you. The game has been in development for 3 years, but actually he's developing it alone. But actually, if you check out the game, the initial game and the game right now, yes, right now there are 100 levels and there are 4 worlds in development. 2 of them are completed. The thing is this, my point is that it would have been much nicer if there were the first 10 levels available, so that you can have immediate feedback. People like it, so you put a lot of effort there. If you have the game out and people are astonished about that, you can also find money, or you can also have a crowdfunding. Since this game doesn't exist, well, it exists in Michele's home and Michele's computer. Nobody can see it, nobody can even decide whether they like it or not. Nobody can decide whether they want to give money or not. Okay, so that's the... So, As I said even yesterday, our goal is to create a unique experience for the students, for you. We want something that is completely different. It must be completely different from any other course, because otherwise it would be meaningless from us. And it's a very creative and bonding experience. Actually, you are going to fight with the people you're going to choose as your teammate. I received an email yesterday, and a student asked me, you know, I have 5 friends that are coming with me to the course. Can I work with them? Or the people who give the best concept are going to be the ones that are going to decide the team. That's the solution. So whoever gets the best concept, the most valuable concept, they are going to be the team leaders, and actually they're going to decide the team. But this is my advice. My advice is, well, try to explore. It's true, you know, I have several friends and I really like to develop with them. But actually, it's a very unique opportunity to try to develop to the weirdest people you can find, to the farthest people you can find around. I can tell you this because, for instance, yesterday there were people from Accademia di Brera, and there was this lady who came to me and she told me that they have 50 designers that want to help us. Okay, 50. And they are not your friends, you don't know them, and probably they don't have your cultural background, and actually they are available to help you. They are very okay with the fact that we are going to publish the game for free initially, and they are very okay with the fact that you might do a company with them. The idea is that as they are designer, graphic artists, they need to make experience exactly as you are. So you're going to meet different people anyway, so try to explore. I can tell you that from time to time it's very funny, because from time to time people, they say, no, I want to, it happened a couple of times, they say, no, I want to do it with my friends. So one of them was the team leader, he collected all the friends around, and then basically they fight all the time. So I'm not sure they have friends anymore. So consider this, at the end of the day, yes, somebody is a very good friend of mine, but if somebody else is a very good programmer, much better than him, I will take the other guy because I want to make the best game possible. I really don't care how much friend we are. So if you wonder about teams and grades, more or less each team should consist of at most 5 people. At most 5, sorry, I put people here because it's computer science. We are more or less inside here computer engineers, but it's actually 5 programmers. 4 is much better. 5 is a lot. Okay, consider that 5 is a lot, and actually you have to coordinate 5 people. It's not really easy. So 4 is better. As I said, you can have as many graphic artists as possible. You can make the most fancy game, but actually if the game mechanics doesn't work, if what happens underlying that it doesn't work, we can see it even if it's encapsulated in its bright scenarios with the amazing meshes or whatever. A game works whatever the kind of meshes it has. Okay, so don't think that it's going to be much better with more programmers and more artists. Everybody is going to propose a concept. We are going to go through the preparation of the concept in one of the next lectures. Everybody is going to vote. I have typically we can have 10 votes. Okay, we have last year we had 62 or 70 concepts. You can propose even more than one concept. Actually, one student proposed 7 concepts last year. None was a winner. So probably you should. They were very good concepts actually, but probably you should concentrate on 1 or 2. And we have 10 grades. I mean, I have 10 votes, Daniele has 10 votes, everybody has 10 votes, so we decide more or less, okay? I will extend the voting, access to voting to everybody on the mailing list, so even designers, stuff like this. The students who propose the best concept will build up their own teams. They will ask for CDs, etc., okay? So the grade is basically the sum of 5 grades. Well, first of all, the game proposal. 3 points assigned by the instructor, and it's a flag. It's not that oh, this is very good game proposal. It's 3 and the other one is 0. It's if you don't give it, if you don't deliver a game concept, then it's 0. That's a flag, a Boolean flag, yes, no. And this is basically to force you to give the concept. Okay, just there. There is 3 points assigned for the design document. It's actually the design document. We're going to go through with that, and it's basically the document that you start building up with your team. It's not that we are going to read the document, or we are going to say, oh, this is a very good design document, the other one is not. The design document serves your purpose to build together the team and give you goals. So what happens is that, and it's typically the thing that we use to resolve conflicts. So somebody says, oh my God, professor, we have a problem with the team. We cannot, originally we decided that it would be a platformer. Right now they want to do an FPS, and they want to do that and that. My answer is, what is the design document that you decided upon and you build up the team upon? And, oh, we don't have it, that's 0. Oh, we have it, and it's good, it's 3, and otherwise it's something in the middle, but it's actually just to tell you that you have to have a design document. You can use whatever you want. It's not something that you write for me, like it's something that you write for you. It could be, you are going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, these are the deadlines, and these are our tasks. Okay, and the game is going to be like this. It's going to be a platformer, and that's going to be 5 levels, and that's it. Okay, we're going to see some examples of that. Then there is a prototype. 2/3 comes from the opinion of other students that are delivering the prototype, and 1/3 from the instructor, so I have 2 points in there. And the beta release, it's 18 points assigned by voting. 2/3 from students, 1/3 from the instructor. And it's actually, half of this is me, and half of this is Daniel. So basically, I almost have no power, more or less, but it's okay. And then there is still final release, 3 points assigned by voting, 2/3 to the students, 1/3 to the guests and instructors. Okay. It works so far, so don't be scared by this. It's works so far, and it's actually if you and it's actually really difficult to trick that. Obviously, the voting is anonymous. I mean, I can see the grades, but I will never say nobody. I will never tell to nobody what's your grade. Actually, I forgot to put another part that is at the end of the development. I'm going to ask to each one of the team how much did the other people work. So it's up to you to say, we work all together the same amount of time, everything was fine, or to say the truth and whatever happens. Okay, and that will influence the vote, the grade. If you finish this course and you still want to make games and you still like games, you can actually take the online game design course from Dario Maggiorini and Laurea from the University of Milan. We should have 4 or 5 students from the University of Milan. If you're here, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Only? Yes. There should be at least another one. You don't find it that in the system, in our system, in our computer system for deciding your, the list of exams. But you can go to the student office and ask, I want to take this exam. You can take it right after this course, or you can take the next year. It's basically, while our focus is basic games, single user games on whatever you like as a platform. Here they are going to do both MMOs and multiplayer games in general. Okay. There are other exams like computer graphics. There is the professor, if you like gaming hardware, you can do the Professor Sciutto's exam that is HPPS. I have the exam of data mining. Several times we do the analysis of players' behavior, because one of the nice application of data mining where you can have a lot of data, it's to get the logs from games. And when you have online games, it's really difficult to analyze the player behavior unless you are going to collect a lot of data. That's why, for instance, even Battlefield 4 right now it's in open beta, because they want to collect as much data as possible about what happens. And that's has been done for several other exams. Well, you can also consider doing your thesis with us. Right now we have 4 theses available, more or less. We have a lot of theses about rehabilitation and medical games. It's a very nice field, actually. The games you make as a real meaning for several people. They are very useful for people that need to go through rehabilitation and have to do hours and hours of rehabilitation, and they need something that is not as boring as plain rehabilitation. So at the moment, if you are interested into a thesis in this, I have 3 or 4 theses about this. And it's typically Kinect. You can imagine it's Kinect or other tools for capturing movements. If you wonder, oh my god, so I have to do the project inside the course, well, you can do it outside the course. You can contact me. Don't ask me now, because right now I'm only focused on this course and I don't want to get into anything else. Don't think that if you are doing the exam outside the course, you are not going to have the deadline. So if you ask for the course, the project, I apply the same deadline. So you can March 1st to me and ask, I want to do the exam. Okay, you have 1 week for the concept, 2 weeks for the design documents, 1 month and a half for the prototype, etc. And if you fail those, the grade is accordingly shaped, so to say. If you are wondering what the development tools you can use, there are several options. You can choose whatever you like. I don't care. I really don't care. During the lecture, we use Unity. The point is that we are only me and a couple of instructors. We couldn't focus on everything, so we decided one platform. At the time we chose the one that was free, and there was multi-platform. So for instance, UDK at the point, he had a proprietary language at the time. Right now it's in C++. And it also had the fact that it was not multi-platform on mobile. So we choose Unity because they allowed, at that time, they allowed to be multi-platform. It was a very nice choice. I mean, right now, if you download the free version of Unity, you have 8 platforms supported, including Linux. So it's very nice. That's our main reason, okay? But you're welcome to use whatever you like. And the point is that right now, it's to try to be a game designer right now, to make games right now, I've never seen such an abundance of tools. So you can use Unreal Development Kit, the new version is C++, so it's actually, you don't even have to learn the new language, their scripting language as before. If you ever check Havoc, if you don't know what is Havoc, it's a physical engine that is basically underlying many commercial games. And they made a version that is called Anarchy. And the Anarchy version of Havoc is free, it's multi-platform, and it's C++. Okay? You can use HTML5 if you want. It's okay with me, if you like. And you can use Coco2TX. It's a 2D, it's like the sprite kit that Apple is introducing. It was made ages ago. And the 2D without X, it's for Apple platform. The X version is for in C++, it is cross-platform, it deploys on Android, and it deploys also, I think, well, on PC, generally speaking, PC, and other platforms. There are other solutions like Corona SDK. Corona SDK is a completely free Lua framework that for mobile gaming, and there are several others. So whatever you like, you can use. As I said, if you use a real development kit, you have to. If you have a problem, you have to go to the community. You cannot ask us because we have people that are developing there, so we can give you some hint, but really we are not really expert in that. So what are we going to use for the lectures? The slides, give you the transparencies. I already put the transparencies online on the course website, on my course website. I'm going to put them also on Beep, but yesterday it was down. So I tried to upload something, but it was completely down, so I had to wait. So you can find it here, but you're going also to find the slides on Beep. That's the Politecnico, for the one that are not from the Politecnico, is the Politecnico's assistant. There are several books. I use the game design workshop, that's that one. It's, yeah, there are preferences. If you talk to people, so for instance, Federico didn't like this that much. Several prefer this one. The good part about the game design workshop is it is structured as a course, so that's why I'm using it. If you read the art of game design, it's very nice, but it's not really structured. It's a discussion about game design, several aspects. We are going to discuss a little bit about this, but it's not really. It's a really good book, but for general reading. Also, this one, Rules of Play, is very famous. It's very huge, and it's extremely in-depth view of game design. So if you like it, if you want, you can check it online. Are there any programming textbooks? Sure. If you use Unity, there are several tutorials online. There are some books, whatever you like, you can use. If you use other systems, you can just choose a book you prefer. It's okay. I mean, currently it's amazing. I mean, you should really like to have you a peek about how was developing in the 80s in Italy. So I developed small games in assembler for the Apple II, and basically everything was based on a volume that was the macro assembler for Mac, for Apple. Then I used also Mac, sorry, for Apple, for the Apple II, and it was basically copies of copies of copies of copies, and it was basically unreadable. It was almost unreadable, and anything we knew about the computer was based on copies that were coming around. You never know how they came here. So right now you can check online, you can find huge amount of stuff about that. So for anything. For instance, for Unity, the new site, the Unity patterns, is very nice. And it has very nice features. And if you have any doubts about Unity, you have Unity answers. And if you have anything about UniK, they have their own community. One of the things that you should be aware of, and I'm not sure whether you got everything from Federico's talk yesterday, is that if you want to develop a game, first thing, you have to play a lot, okay? So a lot of references about games are done in the terms of, yes, because like Portal or like the game X, this is going to be, that's the mechanic, and it's not like the game, the other one game, that is a little bit different, so compare those two games and you see the different views of this feature. If you don't play, it's really tough that you can think about developing games. Actually, because by playing it, you understand the mechanics, the underlying things, and then you can use them, as Federico was saying. These are some of the games. You can also check the games I gave yesterday. But you really should play some of the games. Well, in Space Camp, Super Meat Boy, you have to play for sure. DDDD, that's 4B. I don't remember how many B's I put there, if it's 4 or 6, but actually that's one of them. Cannonball was one of the first one-button game that was very famous. You should go Frozen Synapse, you should, yeah, really. These are some of them. It's really impossible to say things. I forgot to mention here, and I will put it in a slide later. There are three communities that you should check out. 2 are Italians, and 1 is international. The 2 Italians are IndieVolt. So IndieVolt is the Italian, one of the 2 major Italian blogs about the game development. We have one from the IndieVolt community here, Federico, raise your hand. So if you want to get involved in anyhow to them, because they are looking for volunteers or people that wants to work there or make posts or support the community anyhow, you can ask them. Some of you are, I don't know whether you know GameProg.it. That's the other Italian community about game development. They are kind of complementary. And actually, if you're looking for something about game design internationally, the first source where you go to learn a lot, it's Gamasutra. It is also the the main entrance to other 5 or 6 sites that are all connected to game development. One of the things you should surely do is to install Steam and try to download some demo and try to play them. And you should go online and go to all the HTML fresh site and play games. For instance, Cannonball, Continuity, they're all there. One of the things that I'm going to tell you again when we are going to have a lecture about the history of video games is that you should definitely install some of the old emulator. Like you should surely install something like the MAME. I don't know whether you know that, but this is basically an emulator of all the arcade machines, the old ones like Pac-Man, Invaders, and whatever. Or Super Nintendo, even if you're young enough not to have played with one of them. And then you have to play, because otherwise you really don't. Okay, some of the are the things, some of the readings to start. You can start with some of the chapters, and then the other one is that you can download some of the